Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Based in Reality, Nevada. I would like to share some condolences and sentiments this morning on Patriot Day, September 11th, 2025, and also the day after our beloved Charlie Kirk of Turning Point USA, the day after he has passed. Let's begin with the information about Charlie Kirk. So Charlie Kirk was born on October 14th, 1993. He was the founder of Turning Point, which is a conservative political organization which does much community organizing within the faith communities and conservative communities. And we all know that Mr. Kirk was just beyond the pale, so good at presenting persuasive arguments and logic and historically, accurate information on college campuses around our country, hoping to rescue our youth from a broken public school, for sure, education, those who have fallen by the wayside in terms of their far left leaning tendencies and indoctrination. And so Mr. Kirk always wanted to, respectfully but vigorously challenge error and present the truth to students and let them wrestle with those ideas in the exchange of debate, which is what every healthy democratic republic should be able to do. We have to present the free exchange of ideas through our freedom of speech amendment in our Constitution. It must always be preserved. It is the key to wise governance and just a host of consequential freedoms from that freedom of speech and freedom of thought, freedom of exchange of ideas. So Charlie and his lovely family are remembered today. Our thoughts go out to Erica, his wife, and his children. We thank God for his family. We thank God for the passion and drive that Mr. Kirk had from a young age. He understood that time was of the essence and worked in that very impassioned way. And he has built something monumental which will live on and have a legacy. And it's my prayer and hope that from this tragic event, we will see a whole nother level of invigoration take hold in the young people of the United States of America, that they will be now ever more driven to protect our republic, to protect the Judeo-Christian Constitution and laws and our founding documents and the laws that we pass that are based on truth and based on the good welfare of our people, not giving away welfare to people who shouldn't even be here, but I'm saying the laws that encourage protection for people, for their financial thriving, for their economic opportunity and free enterprise and so forth. Let's talk a little bit about the home state for Charlie. I want to address something in his home state of Illinois. As we know, Illinois is being very challenged right now by a lack of leadership there, which has promoted an anti-business climate, a climate that has been fraught with corruption and crime in the capital city of Chicago. And what I want to just highlight before we move on to Patriot Day is that we have, in case you were not aware, 33 counties inside of Illinois who have voted to secede. In other words, they want to be not a part of the governance of the current governance of Illinois. Illinois is broken. And that is why you have 33 counties that want to form a new state. This movement is called New Illinois. It gained traction after Indiana passed a bill. Neighboring state Indiana passed a bill to create a commission to discuss border changes. So Indiana, in other words, is willing to bring in those seceded 33 counties into the state of Indiana. And then later, Illinois passed a similar bill to explore this possibility. So a new state requires a lot. It requires a resolution from the General Assembly in Illinois, approval from Congress, and ratification by the president. So not sure where that is going to go, but keep in mind, this is a state that Charlie Kirk is from. And because it has been so challenged to be able to get pro-freedom, conservative, Republican people into office with any majority, and not been able to get the right people in the mayor's position, in the governor's position. It has been, ruled and reigned over by wrong-headed, at best, at worst, corrupted public officials. And we know that they are corrupted because they're not governing with the people in mind. Otherwise, you would totally embrace law enforcement assistance to create a safer environment for your residents. That right there is a no-brainer. So, Charlie Kirk, our hat is off to you today. May the young people of our country follow in your footsteps. May the residents of Illinois be able to take back their state, even if it means that they become a part of neighboring Indiana. We praise those efforts. We totally support that, if that is what it takes for freedom and safety to be returned to the residents of Illinois. Our hat is off to you, Charlie Kirk. You are the best and the brightest of what our country could hope to stand for. I hope that many young people follow in your footsteps. Patriot Day is today, and I want to read just a quick excerpt from the White House page this morning. And so September 11th of 2001 will forever live in the collective consciousness of those who witnessed 4 commercial jetliners converted into weapons of terror to target innocent Americans on a beautiful Tuesday morning in September 24 years ago. If you were alive then, I'm sure, I remember exactly where I was on that day. At 8:46 a.m., the first plane, Flight 11 from Boston, Mass., hit the North Tower of the World Trade Center. 17 minutes later at 9:03, Flight 175, also from Boston, struck the South Tower. And finally, at 9:37 a.m., Flight 77 from Washington, D.C., smashed into the Pentagon. 22 minutes later, the South Tower of the Pentagon collapsed. Shortly thereafter, the North Tower fell with it. Ultimately, 2,753 people perished in the New York City Twin Tower collapse, and 184 perished in the Pentagon plane crash. There was still one plane unaccounted for, which was Flight 93 from Newark, New Jersey, that was coming into Washington, D.C. And the 40 innocent people aboard that plane, understanding the events that had happened, knowing that this was going to be a hit, a black eye on our nation's capital if this terrorist pilot was able to succeed in their evil goal. They decided to take matters in their own hands. They gave their last goodbyes via voicemails to their family members, which have been preserved to this day, and with a rallying cry, "Let's roll," they stormed the cockpit to overcome the terrorists, which they successfully did. They grounded the flight. to their peril. And so we honor and remember the souls. Again, I'm reading from the whitehouse.gov site right now. We honor the souls who perished on September 11th, 2001, and those who succumbed to the illness and injury in the days, months, and years that followed. We pray for the grieving families who carried their memories and for the survivors who bear enduring scars from that time. We praise the countless firefighters, law enforcement officers, and other first responders who ran into the flames, sought out the injured to save lives and offer comfort, and search through rubble for signs of life. We are eternally indebted for their selfless service. Continuing on the website, we vow that any enemy who spills American blood will face the full wrath of American justice, and above all, we commit to honoring the memories, cherishing the legacies, and remembering the stories of our fallen heroes for all eternity. As we commemorate the somber anniversary, we affirm the vow, whispered in sorrow and shouted in anguish in our nation's darkest hour. We affirm that vow. It remains our solemn pledge and promise we will never, ever forget. By a joint resolution approved on December 18, 2001, the Congress designated September 11th of each year as Patriot Day. Please, in the coming weeks and months and years, keep Mr. Kirk in your thoughts and prayers. Until the next video. Thank you, everyone.